Branson.
Oh.
He is a longtime Orangevale resident, but was not born here, correct?
No, I wasn't. I
Where?
was born in California, but not up here.
Okay, so you're from a family of five. And when did you come up to Orangevale?
I come up in the late 50s. Um, I think it was around, maybe around 56, something like that. I know that when I come here, it was country. And oh God, did I love it. Yeah, I really did. It was orange. Greenback Lane was still 2 lanes. Um, the actually it might have been earlier than 50. Anyway, because the field was still working full charge, World War II stuff. Um, so the only time you run into traffic is twice a day. Once when they were going to work and once when they were coming back. And then the Chinese grocery store was in probably where it sat was between Greenback and what is that other side street?
Hazel.
Pardon?
Hazel.
Hazel.
I believe you're talking about Wu's.
Yeah.
I think it was the public market, and then it
Yeah,
was the
right.
Capri.
Yeah. But the original store that sat in there would have been about the center of Greenback and Central in there now. That's where the regular entrance to the store was. And it was like a one room store that was packed with everything you can think of from the floor to the ceiling. And I was quite taken by that. And where is that? I have a photograph of that too. I'll have to give that for you someplace.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, it's the old palm trees that sat in there, and then there was a gas station which was I think one pump, and then you could just barely see the warehouse that sat there. There was a huge warehouse that sat in there, and they used it for everything from cow feed to storing whatever, but it was big. And that was quite a story in itself because one of the kids that grew up here, I wouldn't mention his name anyway, and I don't remember it. One of the kids that grew up here burned it down. You know that story. Oh, you've heard that before.
Apparently he burned down several things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I bet. Interesting, I bet. Because my nephew was here and he knew the kid. Well, when my nephew got into high school, they were playing baseball. And they took the baseball team from San Juan High School out to the prison to play the prisoners. And that kid came up and shook hands with my nephew that burnt that house down.
So
I thought that was
he was in Folsom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Folsom Prison.
We might as well say his name because I think it's been mentioned about 5 times by people we've interviewed. His name was Dickie Baker.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. So he was in, but I didn't know that's where he went, to Folsom Prison. Yeah. Okay, good.
So, otherwise, now getting back to Orangevale, like I said, my sister and her husband and kids, they all graduated from San Juan. And then we ran into the people that lived here that got us started, or got my sister moved up here to begin with, was the I'll think of their name. It just went out of my mind. Damn it. Anyhow, the Mosingers, you've heard of them, I'm sure. They were from Orangevale forever. They was up here when you could buy a lot for $5 and help somebody for nothing and that thing. So they started it. They had 5 acres over here in Orangevale, maybe more than that. I could have been 10 acres, but Mr. Mosinger was quite a guy. He was really old-fashioned, really super nice guy. And this happens with old age, you know that?
Well, you're only 95, Mr. Branson.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what the doctor said. Well, what's the matter with you? You're only 95. I said, what the hell do you want me to do, die? So, anyway, we got into Mosinger's, and they had dug a swimming pool right in there. They had an acre on the corner there by the school. They got hand dug the swimming pool, and of course every kid in town was welcome. You know, they didn't have a pool; they had the water there for them, and they all come out and jump. Well, of course there was 7 of them, I think. From Phil died not too long ago. I think he turned out to be 90 years old or somewhere in that vicinity, and he ended up in Folsom. And he ran the hardware store over there for quite some time after the real owner passed on. I think Phil was 90, 91 when he passed away.
What streets was the Mosinger property located on?
In Orangevale?
Mm-hmm. You said it was by the school.
Yeah, right across the street from the school. I can't think, not San Juan, not the high school, the grammar school.
Okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact.
Would that be Roberts Elementary or Orangevale School? Probably Orangevale.
I think it's changed names. I think it is called Orangevale. No. Let me get it straight. It's on Central, and it goes down to. Oh, damn it. There's a signal on Greenback that street's on. Maybe it'll come to me in a minute.
I'm wondering if you're talking about Central School that was renamed Coleman. It's on Greenback and Beach?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, Greenback and Beach. It was, I'm trying to remember whether that school was even in there when we started. I think they built that after I was up here. But anyway, what was the big thrill about that for me was when they built that school, my daughter went there. And when she graduated, there I go again, graduated from college, she came back and taught school there. I thought that was cool.
And what's her name?
Her name, Janice Williams right now. She's been married for quite some time. Yeah. She was a school teacher there.
I went to school with a girl named Marcia Mosinger.
Oh, did you?
Must have been one of their daughters.
It was let's see, that was either Phil, not Phil's, but damn, I can't think of the other guy's name.
The 2 Mosingers?
Pardon?
There were 2 Mosingers?
Oh, there were 7 Mosingers.
7.
Yeah, there was 7 of them, and I'm trying to think. What the heck was he? Was in the Navy. He passed away early from cancer because he got a job up here spraying mosquitoes, and that mosquito repellent it got him cancer. Dang, I can't think of his name. I cannot think of his name. Anyway,
What was Orangevale like back then?
What?
What was Orangevale like back then?
It was country. It was so country that I can't tell you how much I appreciated it. The corner across the street from the school, which we were just talking about, the street names, was a guy had a piece of property in there that he dried fruit on, and they would be in tiers or something. And that whole lot was, like I said, it was all country stuff, just little backs. But they had pieces and pieces and pieces of material with all this fruit on it drying out, so you sell dry fruit for you. And they had that almost every year up until I think the school went in, and then the people found out how much the property was worth, and they were buying it up like crazy, and they lost all that good stuff. So on that corner, they had that stacked up dried food in there. And that's what it was like. But I can't remember the school being in there when that was before the school. And then, of course, Central was a 2-lane road, and you didn't want to get out of your lane either. But different things up here before the dam was put in, Folsom Dam was put in. That was quite, because that was one of the things that we loved here, is you could take your fishing gear, hunting gear, and drive over across bridge, and from Folsom on up, you could do all the hunting you wanted to, fishing you wanted to, and nobody said a darn thing to you, Yeah, so it was really good. The year that we moved up here, Gene Mosinger is the guy's name. I was trying to remember Gene Mosinger. Gene took us out to where the dam is built now, and we were deer hunting. And he said, well, I don't think you'll find any more bucks out here. I think we got 5 of them out of here already. And I said, you got to be kidding me. There must have been, I don't know, dozens and dozens of does running out through there. Well, and then I said, that's good enough for me. But you could shoot any place you wanted to. Basically, you got out of town, use your head a little bit. You could take your gun and shoot anything you wanted up in there. So we did that a lot for, I think, probably 2 years maybe. And then things got worse and worse and keep building in all the way around. And you know where Lead Hill is over, and you've heard of that one, I'm sure. We used to go out there and target practice of that, and dove hunt out here the other side of Central, and it was interesting. But getting back to Orangevale, I'm trying to get my hand on that picture of the store, what the store looked like, the Chinese store looked like. And I run into, they own a restaurant out on, the relatives own a restaurant out there on Greenback and, no, not Greenback, it'd be Central and, damn, can't think of the cross street. It's clear out on almost into Roseville. Well, it is into Roseville, actually. Anyhow, they own a restaurant out there. And we went out to get some Chinese food one night, and I said, boy, you sure look familiar to me. You know that old story. And so I said, yeah, we told him this morning. I said, yeah, we used to own the grocery store there. Okay. And then the other thing that kind of happened to ring a bell just then is when they opened up the grocery store at Central and Greenback. See, if you do another 10 years, I won't maybe remember nothing. When they opened up the Chinese restaurant, not restaurant, the store, they built a big store in the back of them. Yeah, the Capri. When they drew the numbers to win a patio set, we were second in line. That's how close we come to win. So anyhow, it was interesting. They did probably they had everything going for them, and finally, for some reason, maybe because of whatever, it just went downhill and they closed the store because there was a barber shop in there, and I can't recall what all now was in the store, but they just kind of didn't care whether you come in or not anymore. I think they were arguing this side. And then the Bank of America was right across the street. My sister-in-law, Ruth Branson, she worked as a teller in there for a long time, along with some of her friends. And it was and that was, of course, that was after the place was burnt. They redid that whole corner. Never did find out when I moved here. They had that lot that was in there had a huge hole in it. I don't know whether they dug the hole out for some project or dug the dirt out for some project or not. I don't know. But it had one big hole, and you could have drove a semi truck down in there. You could have hit it in that hole. I don't know what that was all about. But, of course, they filled that all in when they did the corner lot. Then getting back to the other stuff, one thing stepped into another. They started, at that time, they started enlarging Greenback Lane to 4 lanes, or what it is now, 6, whatever, something like that. And then they built the dam, the other dam down on, not the big dam, the small dam below, the Nimbus Dam, built that. Things began to really change in there. And little by little, we lost that country that I love so much. Let's see.
Bob, where was you bought a house?
Pardon?
You bought a house?
Oh, yeah.
Where was it?
It was on, yeah. It was off of Central on 149 Oak. No, this is Oak Grove Central. Oh, damn, ain't that awful? Can't remember all those years I lived there. Yeah, they built some houses in there that, believe it or not, my house sold for $10,000. And I had a hard time getting $100 or $1,000 down on it. But because I had been in the service, they gave me a little break in between. I had some health insurance that I had bought, and I borrowed the money out of that to get the money to pay for the house. But $10,000, it had a bathroom, with a shower, and it had a bedroom, the master bedroom. When I say master, it was big enough for a double bed, and it had 2 small rooms that you could put kids in. So it worked out perfect for me because I had just one daughter, and then we took care of some twins for quite a while they were having their flip. But it from the time I moved in, I never quit building on that house. Yeah, and it turned out to be my house by the time we got done. But
is it still there?
Yeah, my daughter lives in it. Yeah.
Where was this at?
It's between Central and Kenneth. It dead ends on both ways. What?
Strong.
Strong.
Strong Avenue.
I can't hear.
Is that
Strong?
Is that where?
Yeah, like strong.
Was that where their house was?
Yeah, that's where your house was.
Strong Avenue.
Was it Strong Avenue?
Yeah, it's only 1 block long.
Strong. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Bang, bang.
Yeah.
No, it's terrible. It really is. and I hate it because you can't. I don't know what it is. It might come to you clear as bell later on, and then when you're talking, it just blanks off, and very, very irritating. Very irritating. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I hate being old. I don't mind being old. I just hate getting old. So, anyhow, yeah, it was those houses in there. My house happened to be the cheapest one on the block. Well, I'll take that back. There was 3 of them built. The one on the corner, and then the one next to me, and then my house. All 3 of those sold for right around $10,000. And like I said, they were bare necessity houses. They had the heater that they had in it to heat the house was a wall furnace. And that's the first thing that come out of there when I moved in. Oh, that thing was horrible. But getting back to Orangevale, as it grew and things went, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you on that my brother-in-law opened up a block building concrete blocks right on what did I say that street was, next to the post office or next to the grocery. Hazel. He opened up. Now they own 5 acres. He bought what is that? Approximately 1 block off of Greenback down. He bought 5 acres back up on there. The house is still sitting there, but the church is still using the house, come to think of it. I don't know if they use it for company or whatever, but anyway, the house is still there. So the 5 acres he bought up to the house was all clear. It had stuff on it, had trees on it. And so he started a block plant there. And he was doing really well, and doing okay. Back then, they were not growing on every tree. And so he was building these blocks for houses and fireplaces and everything else you can think you want to use them for, and doing okay. So my brother worked with him and did really well for a while, all of them, and did well enough to buy a big truck to haul that stuff with. And haul it all over, and he used to get a kick out of delivering it to the farmers or wherever they delivered, because there was nothing here. It was beautiful.
Do you remember the name of the business? The concrete.
Oh,
block?
Ross, just Carney Ross. Yeah.
Barney Ross. And was this 5 acres? Was it south of Greenback toward the river?
No, it was north.
North of Greenback.
Yeah. On the left side as it went out. He was, I think it was 1 or 2 houses between Central and his property.
Okay.
You know where Central is, yeah. Yeah, between him and his property. And where the church is now? There's a huge church in there. Well, that was the acre, that piece he owned.
You're talking about the church that's on Beach and
No, the church actually faces Greenback. Yeah, it faces Greenback. Oh, you don't remember that, huh?
Is it still there?
Yeah, sure. Oh, it's huge church. It's a big church, got a big parking lot in the front. Goes way back. Well, if you ever drive in that driveway, you go up the right side of the driveway and go all the way to the back. You can see the house sitting in there. Yeah, and that piece of property backed up against the Mosingers' place. The Mosingers, and that. My brother and his wife lived in the barn for first year they was up here. They lived in that barn, and the cow used to come up and stick his nose through there and look at him, But they were sleeping there. But that was all clear in the back of that property. The house is still there.
I think, are you talking about the one that's almost to Cherry Avenue, that big church? There's I can't remember. It's changed names a couple of times. can't remember the name of it.
Oh no, the church faces. Yeah, the one we were talking about up and down.
Hazel.
Hazel. Yeah, the church faces Hazel. You can't miss it when you're driving up there because it's big. It's, I don't know, must be at least 2 acres wide, and then it goes, and the parking lot goes way back, clear to the back. And I drove in
Does
there.
it have a dome on it?
Oh, you're too far out. You gotta come back in town. No, it don't have it. The one you're thinking of is in way out
I
farther.
believe you're talking about House of Bread.
Or dry food.
Yeah, no,
It's
You
now
know-
House of Bread.
yeah,
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Good.
yeah. You drive by there sometime, you see, but it's before you get to Central. Yeah, it's before you
Yes.
get to Central,
Okay,
and it's
yes.
on the left side of the street. Yeah. And he owned all that property in there. And then he had all that trucks, and they just worked that out until I think I don't know. They ended up leaving here. Somebody talked him into having a ranch, not a ranch, but can't think of the name they were using, but where people go to relax and so forth, up on the American River, on the I'll think Salmon River, up on the Salmon River up north. They moved out of Orangevale back. I don't know what it was, but they had where they lived now. Him and his neighbor had figured out that they both owned 5 acres together, and they were going to take the center of the 5 acres and build a 2-lane driveway in there and build houses on each side of the road. And damn if he didn't come up with cancer and die. My brother-in-law did. So that went down too. But he had a hell of a good idea there because the 5 acres he had could have been a nice turnaround at the bottom and then houses all the way up on both sides. And both of them been setting pretty good. But there's houses in there now on that piece of property, just below Greenback on that. But let's see, what else about Orangevale?
Did your kids, they went to Coleman School, and then where'd they go to middle school? Probably Carnegie or Pasteur.
Well,
They weren't built
where
at
did
this
I don't
time.
remember where middle school was back then.
Oh, well, Orangevale was K-8. Maybe Coleman was too. Where'd they go to high school?
Yeah, they went to San Juan High School. Yeah, they went to San Juan High School. Oh yeah, that was interesting. You remember? You may or may not remember the fire department used to put on a show every year, open house type thing. So this one year that they were there, there's a picture I'll dig out for you too somewhere. Anyhow, they were doing having this show for them, and so the big deal of the day was a plane was to come in and drop water over the top. It was like putting out a fire or whatever, and he didn't make it. He crashed. He hit the top of the school. Made his circle, was coming this way, of course, but anyway, he come in over the school and he lost power and he hit the top of the school and bounced over and crashed in the middle of the field and burnt.
At San Juan High School?
Yeah, San Juan High School. You know, ever heard that?
No.
I'll dig some pictures out on that one. We found out much later that what happened was he didn't adjust his props. When he made his turnaround to come back in, he was supposed to adjust the props for power, and he didn't. And when he come out of that loop, he didn't have any power, and he just come down and went out. Of course, it killed him instantly. But here's all the fire departments and everything sitting around there, and they just had to jump the fence and get over there. But it was just like that, and it was all gone. Yeah, it was pitiful. Kind of ruined the whole weekend for everybody, you know.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, and then I couldn't tell you what year that was either. It just happened after I got up here.
Do you have any pictures of Orangevale when you first got here?
I'm sure. Well, yeah, I do, and I can't find it. Sorry to tell you that, but I will because I've got so much junk. I've saved so much stuff that I can't find anything. But I have an 8mm movie of me driving down Greenback when it was 2 lanes.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it's something else. But I'll dig it out because I've got boxes and boxes of 16 8mm film, and then I went to get away from the film. I went to tape, and I got tons and tons of boxes of tape and stuff. So.
And didn't you say that you took a film of the villa when it was moved from Greenback to Oak?
What?
You filmed the villa, the house when it was moved from Greenback to Oak?
Oh, yes. Oh, that's on video. Yeah, that I got. I could get my hands on that one. Yeah, that was interesting. I spent 8 hours on that job. From the time they picked it up and come down Greenback and went back up over here and back over there. Yeah, that was
That would be fun to see.
That was real interesting. Yeah, I'll have to dig that out. You'd just have to give me time. But like I said, my den room in there where I keep all this stuff is just packed full of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So anyway, it'd be, I'm trying to think of something else of Orangevale that, of course, the parades we had. But I've got pictures of some of the parades we had in Orangevale too. And that might be interesting to pick up on different years. And then as my daughter got older, she interested in the church. Well, she got in the church with the church, and then taking the kids on the parade on one Orangevale Day or whatever it was. So yeah, it's real interesting stuff that I think, and I look at it every now and then. I'll see if I can dig that tape out on that house because it's about an hour or two long, the whole thing, because it shows the picture of the house coming down Greenback, and I got pictures of it going over American River Canyon, got pictures going down Central, and they got pictures where it sits now. Yeah, I'll pull that out. And then let's see, what else have I got? Yeah, and then I ended up working for Smithart. Do you remember Waddy Smithart? Well, you've been here a long time, I take it. Okay. Waddy Smithart had the sheet metal shop at Maine, yeah, on Maine. Well, he asked me to run his shop for a while, and I told him when he hired me, I said, I'm not the guy you want for that. I said, I can do the work, but I can't do the figuring and the estimating the jobs. Yeah, he said, you'll do all right, come on. Well, they treated me like I knew what the hell I was doing. I told him, I said, it's not fair to you.